Guys, today is an awesome day. We get to go back in time to 1995 and review The Art of the Lion King. So the other day, I took a friend to the movie, and while we were talking about the Rotoscopers and what was going on, she was like, "Oh, I have The Art of the Lion King." And I said, "Can I review it?" She said, "Sure!" So many thanks goes out to Jessica Kruger for letting us have this diamond of a book to review on the Rotoscopers YouTube. Let's jump right in. Most current animation books are separated into 3 different chapters, I guess you could say, sections. The first would be characters, second would be location, and the third is kind of like how in the DreamWorks books they always have like building a scene, or a lot to do with the technology that went into building the specific movie that they're talking about. I would say that most of those are used as more of a companion to the actual movie. So now that you've seen the movie, let's just go in and start talking about all the different back end type stuff. The Art of the Lion King is a little bit different because it is the movie. It goes very sequential. It's cut into Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3 of the main story. It also has a foreword by none other than James Earl Jones. Classy. And then at the end it has an afterword, which consists more of a making of, behind the scenes look at the movie itself. The book opens up with keyframes from the unforgettable opening sequence, and then it just moves on from there. It's basically like watching somebody walk you through the storyboards. But instead of just giving you the storyboard, they actually take you in and take a little bit more of the concept art, you get more background drawings, you get snippets from different animators' workbooks. The thing that I love most about this book is the layout. Every page has basically one focal point. One thing that as you turn the page, you're glued. You really want to look at this picture. But then after you're done looking at that picture, you look over to the right or look over to the left, and there's smaller pictures on the side that just bring you more into the story because those are more of sketches, more outtakes type things. It's really cool. Every page I felt like I was either learning more about the character or I was digging deeper and felt like I was really being able to appreciate the animation. This is kind of like walking through a gallery. They don't really have a million different things thrown at you at once. They have a couple keyframes that are chosen very wisely. And because of that, you do want to read more. As opposed to some of the books I've seen that just kind of like throw everything at you. And there really isn't one focal point. It's just kind of like a myriad of things sprawled across the page. And a lot of times I've seen where it's like you're looking at the pages and you don't even know where to look on the page. But this is not like that at all. There are little things, even in the layout of the concept art, that kind of draw your eye to look at other things. And I love that. So well done, so well put together. Honestly, I feel like, why don't we still do this? The author's name is Christopher Finch, and I love his writing style because everything is just a little bit more dramatic and a little bit more proper than what you would say read in like a children's book. Though it's very simple and it gets the point across every single time. So I really liked his style. Because this book is so sequential, as you're reading it, you really do you feel like you did when you first saw these iconic scenes. That first time you ever saw The Lion King, you kind of go back to that moment. And I really like how they did that. Not only because they used a lot of the main key frames, but they also went and did just kind of a little bit off the beaten path, kind of how they got to those key frames. And at the same time, keeping you engaged every page. So amazing. As you're reading this book, you think about the movie and you just realize the magic is still real. As we get into the afterword, it's basically 30 pages of behind the scenes. And that's something that I really appreciated. I liked how they kind of separated it and made it like you're walking through an art gallery. The first 165 pages are just like very slow turns. You're able to really take in each picture. And then when it gets to the making of, you are still slow turning as well because you're reading, but you're also looking at all the interesting designs that they have around the side. Like I said, in contemporary art books, some studios will do this. Like, for example, DreamWorks, they'll have like the family photo at the end where everybody who ever worked on the film is like pictured and they have their names. And for example, like in The Art of Brave, they go in and they do a lot of explanation work on when they went on their exploratory field trip to Ireland. The Afterword kind of does the same thing. It takes you back to when they went on a safari in Africa. But unlike both of those, it takes you a little bit deeper. Not only does it talk about their field trip and also the people that are in charge and building this and creating this, but also gives a little bit mini history. So kind of step by step, and then also who they call in to do certain scenes and how they do it. Really fascinating, though not quite as extensive. This is like Platinum Edition Blu-ray stuff. This is the stuff we love. So honestly, this book gets a 5-star. This is one of those books that if you can find it and you can save up the money to get it, I would put it on my top 10 books to own in your life. Like, this is so good. I wish it were mine. But I am so glad and grateful to Jessica for letting me review this for you. This is definitely going to go into the top 10 rare art of books that you need to own, and also in the top 10 books of all time that you need to own. So save up and get it if you can. Until next time, my name is Chelsea Robson, and you are watching the Rotoscopers YouTube.